All right, let's talk about the weather in South India because things are getting very, very active. We're seeing widespread heavy rains already, but honestly, that's just the start of the story. The real thing to watch is a new storm system that's just now brewing in the Bay of Bengal. And the biggest question we have is, where is it headed? We're going to break it all down right here.
So, let's just jump right into the big question on everyone's mind. We've got this new low-pressure area forming, and we know there's going to be a lot of rain. But the question isn't if it's going to rain heavily, it's who is going to get hit the hardest. That's what we need to figure out.
Okay, so to have any idea of where this is all going, we first have to get a clear picture of what's happening in the atmosphere right now. Think of it like a giant, complicated weather puzzle. We need to look at all the pieces on the board before we can predict the next move.
And believe me, it is a complex setup. Right now, it's like a huge meteorological traffic jam over the peninsula. You've got a system over in the Arabian Sea that's basically acting like a giant engine, pulling in tons of moisture from the west. At the same time, you've got two other systems swirling over in the Bay of Bengal. This big atmospheric mashup has totally scrambled the usual wind patterns. The westerly winds are just barreling across the south, while the easterlies have been shoved way up north over Andhra.
And all of that brings us to the main event, this new system that's just starting to get its act together near the Andaman Islands. This one is the real wild card in our forecast. How this thing develops over the next couple of days is going to dictate everything. So here's what we're expecting. Over the next day or so, it's going to start drifting in a west-northwest direction. But the really critical window is around that 36-hour mark. That's when we expect it to start strengthening, really pulling itself together. And if the models hold, by the 48-hour mark, it should officially become a low-pressure area. And that's the first big step towards becoming a much more significant storm. So, the million-dollar question, where is it headed? Right now, the early projections have it on a track towards the coast of northern Tamil Nadu and southern Andhra Pradesh. Now look, its final strength and exactly where it might make landfall, that's still a bit up in the air. But for now, that coastal area is the zone we're watching very, very closely.
You know, even before this new system fully spins up, the atmosphere is already supercharged with moisture. To get a sense of just how much energy is already out there, let's take a quick look at the rainfall we've seen in just the last 24 hours.
Just look at that number. Wow! In a single day, one single weather station recorded a whopping 176.80 millimeters of rain. To put that in perspective, that's nearly 7 inches. That just shows you the incredible intensity of these downpours we're already dealing with.
The absolute hotspot for all this rain was the Dharmapuri district in Tamil Nadu. I mean, it took 4 of the top 5 rainfall spots. Several places there just got completely hammered with over 100 millimeters of rain. This wasn't some widespread drizzle. This was a highly concentrated, very intense soaking.
Okay, so what does all of this mean for you over the next 24 hours? Let's break down the forecast, region by region. For Tamil Nadu, the forecast really is a tale of 2 different wind patterns. Down in the south, you're getting blasted by those strong westerly winds coming straight off the Arabian Sea. But up in the north, a big change is coming. A wind shift is on the way, and that's going to completely change where the heaviest rain is going to fall. Yeah, this rain is not going to be spread out evenly. The districts that are nestled right along the Western Ghats and down in the far south, places like Kanyakumari and Tenkasi, you guys are really in the bullseye. Alerts are up for very heavy rain. As you move more inland, the intensity should ease up a bit, with big cities like Chennai probably looking at more moderate but still pretty significant showers.
Now, let's shift our focus and head west over to Kerala. Remember that powerful westerly wind flow we talked about? Well, it is aimed like a fire hose directly at the state. And that puts Kerala right in line for some widespread and potentially very intense rainfall over the next day.
And if you look at the forecast, you can see a pretty clear north-south split. The southern and central parts of the state, that's where the highest alerts are for the heaviest downpours. Now, the northern districts, you're not going to get away scot-free, but the intensity is expected to be just a notch lower, more in that moderate to heavy range.
And this weather pattern doesn't just stop at the border. It pushes right up north into Karnataka, and it looks like pretty much the entire state is going to see some significant rainfall from this.
So for Karnataka, the alerts are really widespread. We're expecting the most intense rain to fall along the coast and right across the north interior. Down in the south interior, major hubs like Bengaluru and Mysuru are still in for a good soaking, with moderate to heavy rain on the forecast for you as well.
All right, to wrap things up, let's head over to the eastern side of the peninsula and see what's in store for Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, because they're also getting ready for this incoming weather.
It's going to be a very wet day for both states.
In Andhra Pradesh, it looks like the coastal and Rayalaseema regions are going to bear the brunt of the storm, and then over in Telangana, the southern districts are forecast to get the most intense rainfall, but you can expect widespread showers pretty much across the whole state, including in the capital, Hyderabad.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's pretty clear. While the current rains are already intense and all over the place, the real story, the one you need to watch over the next few days, is the evolution of that new low-pressure area out in the Bay of Bengal. Its path and its strength are going to write the weather story for days to come. And it leaves us with that one critical question. Just how strong will it get, and is it really heading for our coast?